You got me and Biggie Poppins today. Lock in, fasten your seatbelts, hands inside the vehicle. We're going to take you on a journey. We'll probably go about 45 minutes today. Wanted to get some action to y'all since we weren't here yesterday. Gift Edge traveling. We got a lot of things happening earlier in the week. Huda is also working on a very special announcement for
In the
Crypto
Bat
Slam,
Cave.
so he is not going to be here. He's not going to be here. So tomorrow, hopefully, we have Huda. Gift Ed might be a Canadian for life at this point. Who knows? Who knows? But yes, it's just going to be me and myself and Biggie Poppins here getting after it today. Some things happening on the crypto front. The prices kind of took a fat dip here around 11 a.m. Eastern, probably like 10 a.m. Bitcoin crossed below 70K and then continued dipping. I think it was like 68K. Give me 1 second to check where it currently sits. Yeah, 68.6 right now. Still dipping. Ethereum's at 34.8. So, I thought we were kind of headed upwards. We were doing pretty well here. I thought we were going to start the week pretty well. Monday was all green. And then we're dealing with a little bit of red today, Biggie Poppins. But yeah, just me and you. How do you feel about that? And what's going on, sir?
Predictable. I was expecting it. I've said it many a time. You know that, dude. I said like this. It's tax month. It's the halving. It's CPI, PPI reports, like all of that shit. Like it's gonna come to bear on Bitcoin. So I was expecting a bit of a pullback. There could be further downside. Markets are looking shaky. I'm strapping in, dude. Like. But yeah, I'm not phased by it. I hope none of y'all are panicking. It's part of the course. We've said it many times.
Biggie Poppins should have the blood on the streets nickname at this point. Just
Dude,
like, remember when I told you there'd be blood on the streets?
Yeah.
Cat's Fanatic saying I logged in to say what for support, but had a work meeting. By the time I joined, the ending music was playing. Stupid work getting in my way. Give me the loot with the gang. Also, the folks that are watching over on X as we just get started, appreciate you tuning in here today. All right, some things happening on specifically the Blast side. I think Blast, we did have a Monad announcement here this morning, a $225 or mid $2. They raised $225. I mean, goddamn, that'll last less than an hour. But yeah, $225 million funding round. I believe led by Paradigm Fund. Coinbase Ventures was a part of that. I mean, that's a huge get for the Monad release here, hopefully in Q3 or Q4. We've been talking a little bit about Monad. We hit the Monadians NFT drop, but really there's not that much over there in that ecosystem right now. And really you're kind of betting on, again, future building and future ecosystem growth, but certainly 225 million, you're going to be able to do a lot with that.
Yeah. And so for people that don't know, Monad is a parallelized EVM, very much along the same lines as Say, at different I think architecture, slightly different, but yeah, I saw it myself at ETH Denver. Many people very enthusiastic about it. In spite of the fact that, yeah, like you said, Q, like there's nothing out there. Like there's no NFT you can own. There's no, test net that you can be playing around to try to farm some tokens. It's just the Monad Discord and a couple of NFT projects that are already doing like whitelists and stuff like that. But there's a lot of talk about it. People are very excited. And then with a raise like this, which I think they said it's the largest raised for this year so far, which is substantial, right? I think Monad is setting itself up to be a contender, to be very successful. I believe they also onboarded Thread Guy to be their like lead vibes director or what have you.
What a job!
Yeah, what a job, man. And so, it's one that I think we've mentioned it a couple of times here in the show. There's a lot of crossover, especially between parallelized EVM enthusiasts on Say and Monad. I think it's only natural and smart to try to hedge your bets or see who the contenders are, right? Like in this narrative, in this space, this is certainly one of them. And so, yeah, we'll see what they do with this new cash injection and leadership.
Yeah, we mentioned that the release date is going to be somewhere in Q3 or Q4. So again, Say having the advantage on the launch point here. I need to go back and look at how much was raised on the Say front because they are no spring chicken here with the amount of money that they've got towards that blockchain's improvement. So yeah, ton happening. I think in some weird way, one of them doing well, I think, is good for the other. I think that the parallelization narrative can fit more than one. If people say, oh, Monad's popping off, it's parallelized, or even, flip this around. If Say does really well this summer, the Monad hype, I think, only increases, right? Like there is an element of like the pie increases for everybody here. There's also an element of competitiveness. We went over that in Say What in the morning. And there is going to be people that think that, this is going to be just full competition or just, maybe one-sided or pieces like this. You can only have one, but I tend to lean on in a bull market, everybody wins here. But you can see this 225 million, Electric Capital, Coinbase Ventures, several other angels, including Luca Nets, Saquon Barkley, Inverse Bra, Ansem, Rune Cruz. I mean, there's a lot of folks in this Monad funding round here. Interested to see this release. I would definitely love to check out the tokenomics on the Monad side and see like what are the cliffs here. The protocol isn't even live yet. It would be weird, although not unheard of, to have some type of unlock here before we even see the protocol go live. I mean, it is what it is.
Give me money.
Listen, it happens in this space. But anyways, folks, yeah, we wanted to hit that right up front. I think the parallelized narrative is one that we're obviously leaning into on Say What in our work over on the Say network. So some things happening there. I mentioned the crypto market, so we can kind of blast off here and take a quick look. Again, we're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. DYOR. Do all that stuff. We miss Gift Dead for that disclaimer. This is what we're looking at, right? So we see here in the last 24 hours, we're actually down, it says 4% on Bitcoin, but really I think we're down a little bit more than that because in that same 24-hour period, we were on the up and up here. So really we've fallen off of a little bit of a cliff from like 71 or 72 down to where we're at now. So yeah, we're kind of we're feeling each other out here. I think that we're feeling the markets out. Biggie's talking about a lot of macro things that are happening on the financial side. You're talking about CPI numbers and things like this. So Biggie, any last thoughts here on Biggie always gets upset that I have BNB here and not Solana. So let me just tick Solana here. You got it?
You had it starred, which I was just curious. I'm like, damn.
Just because I randomly had some, man.
You
never know. Let's see some top performers here. I think Toncoin is still up in the top. Yeah, number 10 by market cap here, the Telegram token, Phantom, and the Nervos network. Some underperformers. It looks like Dog with Hat fell off a little bit as well from like a 420-ish number to 363. Wormhole continuously going down after that airdrop. ICP, Pepe. Oh, Say's in that list. But yeah, we are down here in red with multiple of these tokens. So these are ones we'll cover today. So we're going to be kind of all around. Biggie, any last thoughts on kind of the macro front? I know you were talking those CPI numbers. Is there something we should be looking into?
Nothing particular. I mean, I think like it's part of the course. We've been talking about it. Yeah, we can talk Dobbs. We can talk NYC. Yeah, much prefer that. But yeah, I don't think anything. I mean, hopefully nothing too catastrophic, right? I'm not like a big tracker of these things. I just like to be aware about like when they're announced and maybe like if the results are like way off base. Just to know what to expect because they do influence. Interest rates here in the States and. Therefore, in the rest of the world, there's a couple of other, I don't know, theaters of war that are heating up, not, bringing some unsavory things, into the market as well, which are affected by it. So, yeah, just like keeping abreast of that, right? Like so that when I do look at these changes, I can understand why and like that it is hopefully a temporary thing, usually are. But I remain bullish overall. Like I said, what is it? I said 17. We're very few, 11 days, right? 11 days from the halving. It's gonna be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it. I say it, and I will continue to say it. It's gonna be a good time,
man. Every time I'm looking at the macro picture with Bitcoin, should have just bought more Bitcoin. Should have just always bought more Bitcoin. You've got an interesting thing going on that you were telling me about just on the ordinals front. I think you've dabbled a little bit, but for the most part, your kind of psychological mindset here with Bitcoin is I kind of want to keep a little bit of my BTC. I don't want to feel like I'm
most of it. Most of it. Yes, I'm. It's the siren's call, right? That there's definitely liquidity sloshing about over there. If you got in early, you're doing well. We have many of our community members over there, like doing amazing over there, and it's great to see. I was not one of those people. I faded, missed out, what have you. And so at this point, I do feel like there's a lot of froth. I'm looking at like the constant drops and mints that are coming out. It's a lot. Like somebody did like a little bit of math there, right? Like on like the type of liquidity you would need to have if you would be playing like a couple of things per week or so. It comes out to a ridiculous amount. That's all I'm saying. It's like it's not an easy ecosystem to keep up with, if keeping up is what you're trying to do, which I wouldn't recommend, right? Like I do think like it's a very new ecosystem, and I think the established players or projects are already determined. Everything else is very speculative, in my opinion, and yeah, like judging from my own personal, past experiences when it comes to deploying crypto, the majority of the time I would have been better off not deploying it and just sitting on it. And, for the longest time, I'm class of 2015. Bitcoin is the thing you hold. You don't spend, you don't use. Stats was bringing up a couple of like little issues regarding the infra that I've always been very concerned about, especially mempool manipulation, front running, stuff like that. I think it can be mitigated, but regardless, overall, just not feeling it, man. Not feeling it, not wanting to partake. Yeah.
To me, I think this runes move is going to be interesting. Like I definitely have not. That is one where I feel like that move hasn't really started yet. I mean, it definitely, you've seen some movement. Don't get me wrong, but from like buying a quantum cat at 0.35 to buying rune stones and participating in that meta, I think is a little bit different. That might be one that you guys check out if you haven't jumped in. So we got rune pups here at 0.084. Bitcoin puppets at 0.397. So let me check what 0.397 is here on the Bitcoin puppets side. So over the last, let's say, week for puppets, looks about the same as the 24 hours. So we did kind of top out around 0.42 on the puppets, and we are sitting at currently a 0.397. So really not that much of a fall there. Again, I feel like the runestone talk is definitely heating up. Definitely check that out. Node monkeys sitting at 0.53. RSICs as well. We've been, I feel like more so the community has been on top of RSICs and puppets. I know Huda as well as Gifted respectively got into quantum cats and Bitcoin puppets. We had the Cake Nygaard release here. He's not rune pups, is he?
No.
He's the little puppets.
You're probably better off searching for it. Yeah,
little pup.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. So that had a pretty awesome run. I wish there was royalties on these sales. So the 1 week chart here, kind of ranging, topping out like 0.0. I want to say 0.06 here on the week. If we zoom out, it probably looks even better. But yeah, 0.005 right now for the little puppets. Quantum cats at 0.35 is wild. Yeah, man, it's an interesting one. I do feel like when I look at this just from more so a 10,000 foot view, it feels like the puppets meta is like puppets are going through very much like a Bored Ape-esque situation here, where like they seem to have captured the zeitgeist fully, right? You got Bitcoin puppets, you got Rune pups, you have so many derivatives, you have so many things. You've got the pups token that is really doing extremely well. So it feels like to me that they seem to have captured the zeitgeist here, even within when you compare them to Bitcoin ordinals.
Yeah,
So
I
go ahead.
find the most interesting is Runestone, right? Like I do want to see how that performs come 420. You know, I do know that the few ordinal projects that I am a part of are a little nervous regarding the fees that are gonna just rocket up after that, or that's what a lot of people are expecting. So you see a lot of these projects try if they need to inscribe anything, they're all rushing to the door right now, trying to get that done before 420, because come that day, I think you will see a tsunami of transactions, right? Of people, trying to see what it is, that they can do. And I'll be watching closely. I want to see how this new, I don't know, to call it a protocol, or what do you call it? A transaction inscribing thing. But I mean, I think you do see a lot of people that are also believers of like Bitcoin L2s carefully watching this, right? Because depending on how that's embraced and performs, will be indicative of like future results in that ecosystem, right? And so, yeah, man, for that reason, also 420 is going to be a great day to be in the markets, looking around, having a good time.
All right, Kat's saying at least I got to listen to NFT Live. Christian Jensen with the GM. Marty McFly, welcome. Easy and Crypto saying OVOT. Feel like it's been a year, but it's been about a week. Carrie Ross with the GM. Marty saying, so you have 0 ordinals, not Quantum Cats, puppets, or monkeys. Yeah, I just haven't been active on ordinals. It's just been a pretty conscious decision of spending more time on base in a couple of these other places. And that's kind of where I'm spending my time today. Ola R saying Runes is coming. Please, Ola, if you're not in the Discord, let's get you in the Discord. Let's make sure that we're kind of working on this mind share. Dubious over there on X saying GM as well. And also Ola is saying with Runes, the Lightning Network will be able to be used. So, yeah, definitely worth a follow-up tomorrow. Let's talk with Huda and have a semi-Runes episode. I think it'd be fair to kind of get a...
Semi-Runes? We can get stoned with Huda.
On not 420? Or just do it.
It's 420 month, Yeah. The day,
right?
The day is 420, but it's 420 month. So GG fam.
GG's all the way through. Cats Fanatic saying any good basements coming up. I am finally starting to look over there. Man, it's a busy time in this market. I'll tell you what. We are definitely looking around the space. I think Blast is one that I definitely want to bring up here as we kind of jump in to specific chains. And I'm getting the do not fade ordinals and runes. I feel like I already have.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm already there.
I'm already trying to get you to fucking chase it like after it's like 2 or 3x. I mean, goddamn, really?
Well, I do think, but the runes I feel like is a brand new meta that we will see. At least once you jump into the the smaller tokens in the collection.
Yeah, if you're bullish, I imagine you still think you're early. So I don't know. Doesn't feel like that to me. But.
This one, this is interesting. Philip is on watching us from X, right? And he's saying, say less, dob more. So I want to give a shout out to him. I know I'm showing the Andrew Steinwald tweet as well. I need to make sure if, you know what? I already told y'all what Philip said. But yeah, big shout out to Philip. Definitely will be answering your DM here shortly, sir. Andrew Steinwald is saying meme coins beat NFTs because time to ape is lower. NFTs require you at least to read something before buying. Meme coins are just point and click. In the current attention-based markets, shortest time to ape win. I don't know about NFTs requiring you at least to read something before buying, but I do like the overall theory. The shortest time to ape is a very interesting thesis here from Andrew.
Time to get wrecked too, though, right? It goes hand in hand. Shortest time to ape. You can get wrecked real fast.
Any anyone following this Apple River trial, it's wild, and I'm constantly getting these stop fading ordinals piece here. All right, Marty's bringing in his Yuga FUD here. So take your shot if you've been waiting for that one. We do have a Yuga announcement. We have a little bit of a Yuga announcement. We do have an Ape Fest in Lisbon. This might be the time I actually go to Lisbon here, because I've seen a lot. I know ETH Lisbon is definitely one of the events that's been going on pretty strong for a while in crypto. I have not been able to go. I've heard great things, just like ETH Denver, but Ape Fest Lisbon, a little bit easier of a trek than Hong Kong. And I've been dying to go to Lisbon. I don't know if you've been there, Biggie, but yeah,
it's a short hop from your region, from your area. It's a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful country. I can't say enough good things about it. Been up and down that whole country plenty of times, and have yet to go back and explore a couple of other more things. And I too have heard really good stuff about the many crypto events that they host there, not just ETH, but Solana, AVAX, I believe Near. Like, many people like choose Portugal, specifically Lisbon, to host these events, and I don't blame them. The food is fantastic, the city is gorgeous, the weather's incredible. I mean, the vino verde, the sardines, it's awesome. Yeah, you should definitely go, Q.
I'm hoping I can get there. So I'm being told sell the Yuga assets and get ordinals. I could definitely I can definitely see the Yuga photos coming in hot and heavy, so I'm going to switch it real quick. Some positive vibes here. NFT NYC was last week. I want to shout out J-Yacht. J-Yacht's been on the show multiple times, sharing her different collections and pieces, and we see a lot of friendly faces here. So I wanted to give a quick shout out here. Who's that? Star-Lordy. Star-Lordy and J-Yacht appearance. J-Yacht and Mo Runda appearance. And we have Black Dave and J-Yacht as well. So yeah, big shout out there. It looks like she was having a good time. The casual smile. It's like it's no teeth. Just I'm out here having a good time. That's very New York smile.
That's a diva smile.
That's the diva smile right there. Yep.
Yeah.
No teeth.
I like the glasses though. Ford probably. I would guess. Is there a way you can zoom in? It's got to be Tom Ford. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean they're very Tom Fordy-esque. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I don't really see. I don't really see the logo there.
Good. Looking
there
good.
There we go. Yeah. So Biggie Poppins giving the call out. Easy in crypto. I'm looking for a sponsor for Lisbon Airfare. I'll get in your luggage if there's room. Q. Okay.
Oh, I will. I have some alpha in that regard. You should look at TAM Easy. That's the Portuguese airline, and they fly from, I think, Chicago. In a bunch of East Coast cities, you can find like sometimes direct flights to Lisbon will cost you a little more, but if you don't mind, there's one that's really great. It stops in the Azores, which are the Hawaii of the Atlantic. It's a Portuguese territory, and it's really good. They got like beautiful hot springs. It's like you can spend like a day or two in that island, and then make your way over to Lisbon, and it'll probably cost you less. So TAM. Check out that airline, and they have pretty good deals. Like if you sign up to their newsletters, you'll constantly be told like when there's like deals. You can get like really, really good ones. So do that.
All right, Quantum Variant saying I was there, but she didn't take a selfie with me.
Quantum.
Also, Kane. Yeah, Kane Mayfield. He was across my timeline there. They got a couple of videos of him performing there in NFT NYC. So. It looks like QV missed Easy in Crypto at that event. Kerry Ross saying, then how do you even know you were there? Ola saying, I think if you own the Prophecy NFT for Magic Eden, you'll get some Rune airdrops. Okay, some alfalfa there. Read that on your screen. I think if you own the Prophecy NFT for Magic Eden, you'll get some Rune airdrops. Speaking of airdrops, I appreciate, I believe it was, let me make sure I'm shouting out the right folk here. So this was in our farming and airdrop section. CJ went ahead and dropped me the fact that Wayfinder AI. There was a claim here for an NFT command prompt key here. This is associated with Parallel. Okay, so the Wayfinder AI is going to be basically tooling around AI. A lot of what Parallel is doing is not only the trading card game, but their work with kind of developing an AI based casual game. I don't want to get too lost in the weeds with you with the folks here that aren't really deep in what they're doing. The bigger story, Biggie Poppins, to me, I've been in GameFi, and it's been called many different things throughout the years: NFT gaming, play to earn gaming, all this stuff. I don't think I've seen yet what I saw over the weekend, and I'll tell you why this is big. Okay, so Parallel is a trading card game primarily. I just told you that they have some other casual games included with AI. They're hitting on a bunch of narratives. It's why they're doing so well. What I saw over the weekend was Hearthstone, the biggest trading card game in the world right now. It's digital. It's very much the Magic the Gathering of the digital frame, right? They have it on. It's very much World of Warcraft based. So they have like different cards based on World of Warcraft characters, all this stuff. They're super popular. It's the biggest trading card game basically in the world. They were taking major shots at Parallel over the weekend. And I'm going to try to find this for y'all. But this gives me a huge parallel, pun intended, to Bitcoin and the banks, right? Because you have that theory of first they kind of ignore you, then they laugh at you, and then finally, once you're right there, once you're very close to the press, they fight you. And this is the first time that I've seen a major publication, a major game come out, fans, community, just the actual game itself, like the people that are very involved in that game taking major shots at Parallel. And so I think that that's a huge moment for GameFi and for this narrative is when one of the largest games in the world feels threatened by Parallel, because Parallel really is very close, if not has already crossed that chasm.
So as a non-gamer myself, nothing like you and GIF, dude, like, and I'll continue to say it, man. Like, do gamers not read or something? Like, I know that there's this like resistance to NFTs, like huge, like not in my backyard. Like the biggest NIMBY vibes that I've ever gotten against crypto is from the gaming, like, like, I don't know. It's strange. It's like even in finance before, when they, like you said, they used to call us crazy, delusional, and now they're kind of like fighting us. We have ETFs now. So, we have people in our band now that we've onboarded and changed minds and there, but like gamers, like, please explain, like, because all I recall, like, and again, as a non-gamer, it's the stuff that stands out, but I recall several publications last year about like people losing access to like multi-million dollar, like, gains or whatever you want to call it, like assets in a game, whether it's because the game itself shut down or decided to not support it anymore, or because the marketplace, like, they got robbed. Like what's not computing there? Because all you have to do is take a little bit of time to read. And it's interesting that you bring it up. I do see other games like going a little extra effort not to immediately hit you with this is a Web3 NFT based platform game, right? Because they want to curtail this blowback that I guess they immediately get from the gaming community. So I don't know, man. Explain it to me. It's fucking weird.
If you want to go 20 IQ take with it and be very simple and understand, like, from a very like simple view, it's that they attach crypto to the game. But right, so crypto they feel like is a scam in a lot of ways. Like they oftentimes, a lot of gamers, you'd be surprised, dude, how uninformed they are. They're just like the other normies. Just because they play games does not mean they're like dabbling in crypto. Sure, there's a crossover. There's a ton.
They don't feel taken by the gaming companies, like every single time that they decide to, like keep you buying a new game and not supporting that. Like they don't see the planned obsolescence in many of their mechanics that are purposely made to extract more value from you. Of course, they want you to live a long and, somewhat healthy life so that you can continue, consuming their products. And it's weird to me. It's very, very weird to me.
In my run-in with like major I say major gamers, like I'm in a couple groups where like the guys play a lot of games, right? I've got family that plays like a lot of games, and from what I've heard just anecdotally from them is they don't like the addition of finance into their games. And they said that there was a huge pushback on loot boxes. And so whenever a project or a company in Web 2 gaming launches loot boxes, it's like almost 100% blacklisted, like, fuck you guys. We hate this. People will pay for skins. They do. Like, skins are a huge part of games. I think it's just like an ingrained thing into the culture. Wolves pull over their eyes, what have you. But I think what happens, Biggie, is they look at it as the game is pure. Sure, I'll buy some skins, all that stuff, but when you add in the financial aspect of like earning for games,
that's what it is.
Yeah, but they just look at it as like, oh, it's an extra thing for the game that I'm playing. Yeah. I don't want the crypto part to ruin the game. That's what they think.
The only thing I would add to this, Q, and correct me if I'm wrong in thinking this, but this stance against NFTs and gaming, it's got to be from the first world. I don't see that, like, I don't know, especially after Axie's success in the last cycle. Like, I'm sure the rest of the world is like, please let me make some money while I play something I already enjoy, right?
So here's kind of the general take. I think trying to make out that everyone can make loads of money playing the game when getting more people to play the game directly benefits you yourself is pointing out the problem. So that is not the reason, but it rhymes with the reason why people dislike this stuff, is because it's not about the game. At least up to this point, they see a lot of examples of like, it's more about the money being made. It's more about all this stuff. They want to have a pure game. So and no one's done it well. There's not been a great example until Parallel. And to be fair, Parallel has a long way to go. They're by no means competing with Hearthstone right now on the player side, but no game is good. So like they've all been able to point to, look at all these shit games. Look at all the and they want to add crypto into the game and like fuck this.
This is the first time we get what is it? Unreal Engine type games, right? Like before it was very casual, kind of like Facebook farming games, like Axie, right? Like this time you do have Shrap and you have Parallel. Like it's strange, but thank you for trying to clarify that. I don't think you gaming people.
I think it was a crazy moment because I don't think I've seen a kind of like full attack on a game. Now it didn't seem like it came directly from Hearthstone, right? This was a subreddit, so maybe I'm overblowing it a little bit, but it does feel like Parallel is getting to this point now where it's crossed the chasm, right? It's no longer like we're gonna ignore you or we're gonna, it's like, oh shit, this game has some legs. What can we do to make fun of it or kind of attack it? Wolf K saying play to earn token A, burn token A to acquire loot boxes. The integrations make a ton of sense. It's just nobody's created that dope game yet. So you end up with a shit game that has good token mechanics, like you're saying, and it's like a dead on arrival, right? Because no one's going to play it. Give me the loot saying, not the game, talking about practice. We talk about practice, folks. All right, we're going to move into some other topics. Appreciate you guys for joining us here. We're going to keep this relatively short. We'll probably go another 15, 20 minutes here today. Me and Biggie Poppins holding it down while Gifted is in Canada. And Huda has a announcement here that he's working on the Crypto Slam side. Big announcement coming. Hopefully you guys have been farming them points there over on that side. So a couple other things I wanted to get into. We have been touching on Pac Moon since its airdrop, right? We did see Beeple commemorate today. Pac Moon's rising. I can go over on the Dex Tools side and check out the current state, but I believe it's up like 9 or 10x from kind of its lows here. So it initially came out. There was a lot of FUD around it. This chart looks relatively familiar. There's a lot of meme coin charts that look like this. The initial rollout really like spent a majority of March. So a full half end of March here until about the 24th. It had a good run up, I believe, on that first or second airdrop phase. and we see this relatively nice looking stairs up here from Pac Moon. Any takes here, Biggie? I know you've been covering a little bit of the Blast market in pieces like this. I am allocated in some meme coins on this side. Definitely, faded Pac Moon when it was kind of ranging in this like late May, middle of May. But thoughts on Pac Moon? Also, welcome to the stage, DP. What's up?
Nothing, man. Just came to crash the stream. That's all.
Love to have you here, brother.
Yeah, man. I apologize for being tardy. I had a little bit of IRL stuff to handle real quick.
No worries.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to see you all. And happy to be back. I know we didn't do a show yesterday, but
we're
back.
Yeah, we're here today. I'm happy to report, Q, that I actually GG here.
You played it?
Yeah, a long time ago. It became very clear that pump was not gonna pump. My Wazis did not pump enough. Though I'm not completely out of that, right? I did keep some, and I do think maybe it can come around and do well. But it was very obvious to me that like Pac Moon, and I think a couple of episodes back I told you, right? Like all the attention was on base, and I was like, I should be looking on Blast. And so I went over there and I said, where can I position myself? What plays can I do that I feel are like being disregarded at the moment? And Pac Moon was one of them. So I rotated my pump bags to Pac Moon, and to be honest, I have not checked on how well I did on that, but probably pretty well. Looking forward to more. I still think attention is very much still on the base ecosystem, but I'm not doubting it at all that at some point it's going to make its way over to Blast. And so while I am keeping my eye on base, I do think it's pretty difficult. I did have like an FML this weekend when I decided to get up and unplug and touch grass and missed based punks, but so be it. Anyways, my focus now is just like exploring Blast, seeing what plays I can make. I'm not the biggest DeFi guy there, so I am partial to the NFTs. Sucker for the NFTs, apparently.
All right, the Blast ecosystem here. So when we're looking at TVL over the past week, 30% up here for Blast, 30% up for base. Some other pieces here that saw some. It looks like Pulse Chain was up relatively good, but yeah, honing in on that Blast and base scenario, it feels like they are definitely the flavors of the month here to start April, and will continue to be. Base doing a lot of really cool things. They've got the narrative. DP, so we started the episode talking about kind of overall markets. We dipped a little bit today. We have, like we're talking about, seen some stuff on Blast, base. We saw Monad come out with a $225 million fund here. So what are you looking at?
Guys taking credit for?
Right. Yes, exactly. They've been putting months of work on the BD side to get all of those investors, but it was Thread Guy. But what are you looking at in the market, man? I know you said, late last week you said you hopped on the degen train for the majority of the past 5 days, and what are you doing here today?
I'm smiling because and I'm laughing because of what I'm about to say. So I've become a full-time shit corner.
It took that.
They got me, man. They got me. So I've been trying to be responsible, look at some big brain plays. But truth be told, no. In all seriousness, though, right? I think I've honestly just been trying to play the meta, right, and not be a fool. And because you said to me a few weeks ago, you said, DP, you just can't sit on the sidelines and do nothing. You're absolutely right? Because the thing is, listen, man, we cannot get away from these meme coins. We can't get away from them. They aren't dying. It's not going anywhere right now. Like I think that this is the longest I've seen like meme tokens run in a bull run, like without the narrative shifting to another space, right? I haven't seen this, so it's like, look, man, what are we gonna do? We're gonna sit around and miss out on all the gains that are happening right now at the beginning of the market, and not have anything DC had to. Oh, so with answering your question, one thing I am looking at, I'm looking at all of the new rooms projects that are coming out, right? Some of these new PFP projects. I know Room Cats is one of them that's supposed to be releasing something soon. I was mad because I had to be in the office yesterday and I couldn't get into the neighbors ordinals that released, right? And so I need to go. I want to go grab. They did all right. They did all right. I want to go. I think it's an opportunity there. It's still an opportunity to grab a few. I'm sure Huda probably knows better than I do. I wanted to grab some of them. So I've been focusing a lot of my, outside of messing around with these meme tokens, I've been shifting a lot of my focus to the ordinals and what's going on Bitcoin and what's going on with rooms in particular, because I was fortunate enough to grab a tiny Vikings before everything started popping off, and I was able to get me I was granted a room. So I'm a proud room owner. And so it also gave me like a few other projects that are now in that pre-rooms tab that are supposed to be delivering more rooms to holders. So I'm pretty excited about what's going on over there.
All right, welcome to the stage, Huda.
Do it! Hell yeah. Thank you. Good to be here. Always good to be here. So great.
Like that.
I'm glad that you wore the jean jacket for us.
Can I tell you something?
Tell us.
I'm wearing women's clothing right now.
Oh Lord, TMI.
Nice.
It might be the jacket. It might not be.
At least you're wearing something.
The undergarments.
It could be.
I mean, you can never tell. You know what that reminds me of? Are you all fans of The Office?
The Office. Yeah, for sure.
Remember the episode when Steve was wearing that suit and he found out that it was a woman's suit?
Yes.
Because the zipper was like in the back or something, right?
Yep. Dude, exactly that. Fuck yeah. By the way, welcome to the Ordinals family and all that. DP, good to have you in.
All right, there's a couple comments that I want to get to, but let's quickly get an intro from Huda. Huda has been working diligently. Crypto Slam is just continuously putting out some stuff. Slam Vision on the rollout that is happening here over the next month. It's going to be a time to be alive. But what's going on, Huda?
It's a good way to put it, dude. Yeah. It's like a lot of the stuff that's been going on, you know plenty about it, but a lot of that is kind of coming to a head here very soon, very, very soon, which is awesome. So it's been very fun, very busy. But like today's just my newsletter shit. Like, dude, I've told you I hate writing. Like when I get done with my newsletter, after your dog takes a shit and he goes flying, like he goes running around like the most excited he's ever been, or like my cats do that too. That's what I feel like when I'm done my newsletter. So I was so excited to get done. Like I put the last period at the end of my newsletter and I just came right over here. I could not wait. So that's what I've been doing the past really like day and a half. Done.
So, no. Yeah, dude, you're fucking grinding. So like, yeah. I get it. Whenever you're finishing kind of the work and then you start to get into play, it definitely is a adrenaline rush. Yeah. We were talking probably 20 minutes ago, man. We were like looking at some trends and stuff like that. We were looking at where the ordinals market is currently. What is the TLDR on runes and what's about to happen with pre-runes and pieces like this? Like, what is the easiest way for someone to grasp and where they should start?
As far as like what they are, how they work, that kind of thing, or what's the best entry? Well,
it feels like there's going to be some runes meta that's beginning to start with what I can only assume is it a protocol launch? Like okay, so like I want to be prepped and ready to not fade that part of the narrative. I'm definitely down to do that, but I have no starting position.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the best starting point is places like this. It shows because there's not like the information is not consolidated anywhere great out there on Twitter, on any news sites. Like it's just not. And part of that is because they're not out, they're not live, they're hard to explain because they in a way don't exist yet. So the protocol was implemented just last weekend, like the final version of the runes protocol. So the runes were created by the founder of the Ordinals protocol, Casey Rodemore. So just last week, final version of it put into the Ordinals protocol, and it's set to go live on the date of the Bitcoin halving. So we got 11 days here till runes technically or officially go live. When they go live, we're going to see some runes actually minted. We're going to see those runes, those meme coins out in the wild for the first time. It'll start making a lot more sense then because it's going to work a lot like, meme coins that people are familiar with, like they are used to. So all of a sudden they're going to start seeing tickers and market caps that are, familiar looking and sounding to them, numbers that, become familiar. It's all going to click at that point. What you're seeing right now with these, rune collections, something like Runestone and RSIC, they're placeholders. These are just things. It's like holding an NFT from a collection that says they're going to give you, they're going to create their own token. Like holding a Captain gets you meme coin, holding a Genesis Kong gets you banana. Runestone here, well, holding one of those is going to get you a meme coin coming up here. One when they launch, in about 11 days. Another's coming later this year, and then a third is going to come next year at some point. So, that's the TLDR of it. But again, they are hard to understand, so people just need to ask questions as much as you can. And again, tune into shows like this that are willing to explain that. You probably don't find a lot of them out there, but you got that here.
What's the potential? I know I'm bombarding you guys with questions, and feel free, DP or Biggie Poppins, if you guys want to jump in as well. But once the protocol does go live, where is the exchanging of the tokens taking place as far as ones that are in the wild? Not necessarily the transition from runestones to whatever new token, but right. If I'm just buying secondary and I'm looking and I want to input a CA or look for a certain ticker, where is that all happening?
So Magic Eden supports it right off the bat. I wonder when they start if they're going to actually trade exactly like BRC20s, where you actually do have to bundle them. I hope not. I really hope not. But Magic Eden supports it from day one. I'm assuming OKX, because they do BRC20s. I wonder if Binance is even going to waste time because they're decommissioning their ordinal support, and that's coming in a week in 9 days. So probably not there. But I bet you before long it'll be Coinbase too. Let's just say, to keep it simple, go to Magic Eden. That's where you're going to see them traded right from the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the easiest place because one thing BRC20s, it still is a little bit of a learning curve to get in and acquire a lot of them. Even the way that the tokens are set up, right, where you might have 10,000 units of one token and it's bundled up and it might cost $52. Then you look at another one, it's like 5,000 units of the same token, and that might be $13. So there's a bit of a learning curve still.
I'm looking at the price history. Runes don't look like they've moved very much over the past week. I don't know on the month because Magic Eden's price analysis or tracking is kind of tough on these charts sometimes when I'm live. But yeah, the week it really hasn't moved.
Which specifically?
The Runestones, 0.08.
Runestones. Did you say on the week?
Yeah.
That must be going just by the actual since Sunday or so, or since yesterday, because they've been flying since I'd say last Friday. They're almost not quite 2x, but almost. Yeah, they were 0.04, very recently.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why it was giving me a weird look here. Yeah, this is the Runestone chart for the week. You can see starting the last 7 days at 0.04 almost, a little bit above that, 0.043. Currently sitting at 0.08. I don't know what that looks like. Again, it's always wonky as we start to go. Nope, it's not gonna give me it. What's that monthly look like? Is it? Yeah,
it's probably they didn't get much lower, if any lower than 0.04. I think they were hanging right around there.
Yeah, it's about double. It's about double.
And man, they can fly. I mean, if you use WIF as something to compare it against, WIF, I don't know what the market cap is. I saw the fully diluted market cap is 3.6 billion right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, so Runestone's right now about a $600 million market cap. That if you put it at WIF terms or at that place, they still got a 5 or 6x from here potentially. There's so much potential in these rune projects or collections. One of them, it's not going to be necessarily Runestone. I have Runestone, so I definitely got to make it clear. I'm not trying to pump that bag. A rune, whether it's from RSIC, whether it's from Casey Rodemore, who's hard coding the first 10 runes, whether it's somebody else, a random person who makes a rune collection. One of them is going to do the whiff thing. One of them could probably do more, and it wouldn't shock me if we see the next Sheeb out of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Like it wouldn't shock me.
I need to be in on
Yeah,
it.
I think this is it.
in
I
on
think this is a little bit of a there's going to be something that happens with this piece. I know I'm not stepping off too far on a ledge with that one to say that there's some activity happening. So there's smoke here, and there might be a fire. Ola Art saying Xverse wallet will support runes. Cam Taylor saying Trevor.btc is teaching his community how to set up a full Bitcoin node to be able to transact successfully in day one when the websites or network will likely be congested and unusable. Cats Fanatic saying runestones have definitely been going up, and Christian mentioning ME charts are always buggy and sometimes don't update at all. Or also RSIC being brought in to the conversation. On the runestones front, last question from me. I feel like we did get a pretty good update here from the folks up here on stage, but would you guys be going RSIC or runestone, or is there others that you should be paying attention to, or the folks that are listening?
I'm not gonna lie, man. That runestone is where it's at right now, bro. RSIC is good. So let me say this. I think that they like the Ordinals community, right? And I know I bang on Ordinals, the community around it a lot, but I think that they have been able to, they've done a very good job of leaning into Bitcoin's value and its prestige and the whole airdrop mechanism, right? And I think that so many people like that, like it's about to really go crazy because and I saw Huda say something about this on his Twitter. There is about to be a lot of wealth that is delivered to people that hold runestones and people that are fortunate enough to be a part of some of these projects that are getting these airdrops. Right now, the meta for a lot of people that hold on to some of this stuff is to just sit on your hands and wait for shit to literally be airdropped to you. And you have a lot of projects too that are getting in on the narrative and releasing these NFTs and these PFPs for 0.004, 0.008 or whatever. And yeah, you can participate or not participate. But one thing I will say, I'll say this. I would say that, get in on it and take advantage of everything that's being airdropped. But as soon as things start to really, as the top starts to really rise and it looks like we're about to have a blow off top, start selling some of that shit too. Start getting some liquidity out, because we see how some of this stuff takes a turn. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be for certain with the projects over on Ordinals, but one thing that will happen for certain is that when the bear market does hit, everything goes down. So if you're fortunate enough to be up some multiple X's or whatever, start de-risking some of those assets.
And you never know, when those black swan events are going to come too. Like, just you never know when it all just fucking collapses, and that sucks to think about. But hey,
yeah,
smart.
We've been touching on runes and everything that kind of is tied into that. We've been hitting on some other ordinals pieces. One quick announcement: Quantum Variant actually just posted here in the community chat. It looks like Eigenlayer mainnet's live. So they did this like little 8-second trailer.
What? No way.
So nothing crazy here. It's not April Fool's. So let's dive in here real quick. Although I've been having major trouble.
Like something.
No, I think it's live.
Live.
It's live. So apps, docs. Today, with the help of the entire Eigenlayer community, restakers, operators, AVCs, and rollups, we are proud to launch Eigenlayer and EigenDA mainnet.
I love that. See, 420 month is the best month. Everybody
like it.
Launching stuff, taking advantage. Good. Nice.
Love to see it. So you Eigenlayer stakers, that is a good day for you all. We'll have to kind of continuously follow this one. I did mention Parallel. So two other things I want to focus on here before we pop out of the show. Parallel did have a couple other updates. One, they're on a full court press against me, or not against me, against Hearthstone here. Another Parallel ambassador that is a former Hearthstone player. They dealt with a lot of FUD here over the last 72 hours here from the Hearthstone community. Another piece here, they also launched a $500,000 prize pool for a upcoming tournament. So they're at a very interesting precipice. I still think Parallel probably hits $60 in this little bull run that we're having ourselves here in 2024. But yeah, I was mentioning earlier, they're at a very interesting point where Hearthstone is actually, I think, feeling a certain type of way. It's not ignore time anymore. It's fight time here for some of the games within GameFi. All right, this Udi tweet, Huda, do you want to hit on it real quick so we can wrap up Ordinals?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, this is just, back to the rune conversation. This is a guy. I'm curious, Biggie, your reaction to this. But yeah, I mean, Udi is a guy who has been around the block on Bitcoin specifically. He seems, and I'm just going to say it like this, he seems to really understand the type of people that are in Bitcoin. He has always referenced these ancient Bitcoin whales to the point where it's become kind of a meme. Like, it's just a funny saying, but I really feel like he knows something that a lot of people don't. People who have been in crypto for a long time definitely understand it, right? So probably a lot of people here understand it. But he talks a lot about it because these are guys who have money that is just sitting there doing nothing. And they're degens. And when we're talking about the kind of money that could come into runes, that's the kind of money that could come into runes. Just piles and piles of dormant Bitcoin that people got nothing to spend it on. They're already set for life. Like, they got nothing. They need nothing. Like, they're going to fucking gamble and buy some meme coins because that's what people enjoy doing. So be smart with runes.
I really, truly love that hopium that I get from Huda on the Ordinals, as well as the Runestone front, man. I want to get in as we kind of see this narrative start to form around runes and Runestone. So, guys, any last thoughts here? I do want to cover this Frank to God's tweet. Also, Frank got dunked on by Frentech yesterday as well. But yeah, we have a tweet here from Biggie Poppins, at least, or a tweet that he shared. It's not from Biggie Poppins. Frank to God saying, this guy does the best IRL Web3 interview, short to the point, asks great questions. It looks like Ansem is being interviewed by this interviewer. What's going on here?
Whip is just like...
It was pertinent when we were talking about base and memes, but you can check it out. Like, he's basically talking about, like, I wish our friend Gift that was here. I think he would appreciate this interview a lot. It's just as him talking about,
the new memetics, the memetic culture, adoption,
and meme things and all of that. I think even Say gets dunked on at some point over there. I think it's like 4 little videos.
Like most popular NFT and like most popular, it's like if you're on chain, you hold the L1 coin, and then it's like, what else can I buy on chain? So Whip is like the #1 meme or all-time volume. It's like beta to Solana.
That makes a lot of sense. So the Sol TVL increases because Sol goes up.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, where the fuck do I put my money? I'm putting it on Whip. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to see more clips?
Jesus Christ, what was that? All right.
That was horrible.
He just made the same case we made him just right before with Bitcoin and those runes. Exact same thing.
Yeah, that seems to be the 20 IQ, like 200 IQ bell curve there. Take. Go ahead.
No, let's just leave it.
He said no. No. All right. Timbo Fett saying, been participating in the Gamma Art Challenge. Good chance to win a runestone if you participate as a collector or an artist. There was a couple other things here. Ola Art saying, users of at least 3 Ordinals inscriptions are getting a free runestone airdrop. Let's see. There's some other pieces.
Yeah, nothing new like that. That is how they were distributed for sure. But yeah, there's no airdrop coming at this point.
Prado saying, are y'all looking into farming anything at this point?
Damn good question.
Please no. Please no.
Some points.
I think I don't know, man. I think that their farming narrative kind of died down a little bit because I think people just got tired of grind. Well, I tell you what happened. People were grinding like these airdrops in the farms and everything, and then meme season popped off, and people saw that, hey man, if I could just go pick some shit coins and 100x off of that in a couple days, what am I spending all my time doing all these farming tasks for and all these airdrop tasks for? And so that whole narrative is kind of like died down a little bit. And I think some of the projects have taken advantage of it and kind of like have, because I haven't really seen a lot of airdrops being distributed. And also another thing that killed it too, people were getting like pennies for like months of grinding. Like you grind for so hard for $100 in tokens.
That's a nightmare scenario, right? Like I heard the Tensorians airdrop. People weren't too happy with that, Biggie. I don't know if you have any kind of insight there. Also, Ruppler, who I believe is Inverse.
Yes, sir.
He's saying Bitcoin halving removes 50% of the market, guys. Having the supply. That is the take. That's like the take from like the first year guy who wants to sound smart at a cocktail hour. Like that is the take. But it's also, again, the 200 IQ take. Like you just it doesn't, you don't need to mid curve this. Bitcoin halving takes 50% out of the supply.
Right.
It doesn't take it out. Yeah, you guys know what I mean by that. But anyways, there is another point that I want to get into here because we've had multiple people bring it up now. Inverse is saying any takes on W giving
Wormhole.
Monad. Yeah, the W token giving Monad a drop here.
I think it was brilliant. A brilliant move. We hadn't seen that. We'd seen like NFT holders get rewarded. We'd seen different ways of having access to these, right? Like use the protocol, try the testnet. We had never seen people that have received a certain role on Discord, or at least I hadn't seen one, and if so, not as big as this one. Because like if you were having meaningful conversations on the Monad Discord and had the NAD's Discord role bestowed upon you, you were awarded approximately 10K worth of wormhole, at least at the time of launch, if I'm not mistaken, in Inverse. I think it was brilliant. I bet you they doubled their Discord members numbers right there off the bat, probably more, and really got some attention. I don't know, man. I applaud them for it. I think it's great. I think, wormhole is one of those airdrops I'm not selling. I'm not interested, in spite of the fact that it's gone down. In fact, I think I might get a little more. I think that there will be like staking mechanisms in the future with potential rewards for that. Cross-chain infrastructure is just critical, and they are one of the top products out there doing that. And so I'm bullish on Monad, bullish on Wormhole, man.
Yeah, I always have trouble finding the Wormhole token via Dex tools, but yeah, sitting at 86 cents now. So yeah, I don't disagree, Biggie. Usually those larger airdrops do well over time to these that are tied to these larger projects. So there is an initial dump. Sometimes there's not even that. Anyways, finish out ZK Sync and do some scroll bridge on different bridges. Yeah, we've been mentioning ZK. We've done some scroll. Any other activity? I know CBB was actually tweeting about this morning. Let me see if I could pull that up.
The other one that I would bring out that I wouldn't dismiss, I think it has a lot of potential to do well, has that type of narrative and attention on it, is Barachain.
Yep.
And you could be doing some stuff on testnet once a week. Doesn't hurt, folks. Could be lucrative. There we go. He's talking about Barachain.
Yep, that's this morning. So CBB talking about Barachain. So yeah, again, ZK Sync, Scroll, Barachain. These are ones that I think we were talking about in November, maybe December timeframe. They kind of didn't have the activity base and blast and say we're getting at the time, but definitely activity is one you want to be taking part in. Inverse saying, not sure how much, only had one wallet eligible. Funny enough, which I bridged to say, but yeah, same holding, didn't sell yet. So I think that's the Wormhole piece there.
Agree with you, Inverse.
All right. Biggie.
I got mine up out of here.
Oh, wow. He got a drop for bridging to say, apparently. Wow, cool.
Friendtech is releasing hopefully the token later this month. I think that based on base chain and just the liquidity there, I think Friendtech does enough to make most people whole. especially the ones that got really deep into friend tech and lost many of ETHs. Many of ETHs were lost in that friend tech key collapse there, and I do think the friend tech token actually makes people whole. I'm pretty bullish on this release.
And I believe there's like a little bit of, I don't know if it's alpha or whatever you want to call it, but I believe the founder of Friendtech was spotted in the Sofamon Telegram channels. So there could potentially be some type of Sofamon, Friendtech collab going on there, which could be interesting. That's what I'm keeping my eyes on. I think, I don't want to say people are sleeping on it for sure. Like there's people like looking for the invite codes and everything. I just feel like it's one of those that kind of not everybody's playing yet, that will come into the forefront at some point. That Telegram ecosystem, and it's not Telegram based. This is using base token, but I'm just saying it's a play on Telegrams using the stickers. Like I think
I like that
has something that at some point, and will come to the forefront and have its moment. And
I've seen the Sofamon. Is the exchange on their application, like as far as like buying the specific sticker NFTs?
Sofamon, you connect it to your Telegram channel. I believe like the store and the purchasing happens on desktop, and then you do have like a channel and like a thing where you can pull up your stickers and everything. But there's like little sub DAOs already forming based on whatever wearable you bought. The wearables are on a bonding curve. Some people are, degenning into it hard. Most, I think, are kind of just sitting there waiting on the sidelines to see what goes on or what happens. I'm paying close attention between that, and then just if you have access to set up a ton wallet, I'd recommend at least having everything set up and figuring out it. Bridging is pretty simple. I believe like Simple Swap is like one of those that facilitates it, but at some point that's going to come to the forefront. I for the simple reason that I think it is, at least it's one of those foreign, like independent protocols, I think, that some people feel safer using when it comes to censorship, right? So I think that type of narrative, it's going to pick up something like that.
Yeah, if you haven't looked at what Biggie's talking about, there is this meta that's taking place where the NFTs are essentially wearables for avatars on Telegram, is kind of the way I would very simply put it. It's really cool because you have this theory of like NFTs being shown off in that environment, much like we saw in 21, right? Like you wear it as your profile on X, but it's actually happening in a micro environment on Telegram. It's pretty cool.
And I'm not a stickers person, but I'm sure if you've played around in Telegram and other places, like there's people that are fucking crazy about stickers.
Yeah. So, and you have the environment. Telegram's huge. Like there's a little bit of a fertile ground there. Guys, I said we'd go 45 minutes today. We added DP and Huda in here, so we had to go the full episode, the full hour and change.
Stretch it out.
I'm going to go ahead and close this out, though. I definitely wanted it to be a little bit shorter, so we're sitting at an hour and 10 minutes. We are going to pop out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. I need to get word from Gifted. I guess they just use like carrier pigeon there to get the message out. So we'll see when he's back. If he stays the whole week, more power to him, man. Hey, go touch some grass.
As long as he's back by 420.
Yes, fair.
We need our Fred Durst, blonde, blue-eyed Ken doll in this fucking room with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, let's go around the quad box here. DP first. Whatever you got, sir. Send us out.
Hey, thank you all for joining. First of all, I'd like to apologize to the community for my tardiness, but I'm happy I was able to make it. I think we had a great conversation today. I'm bullish about the space and the direction that we're headed in right now. I'm bullish until I'm not anymore, right? And I'll give you all indicators of when I start becoming bearish. But I think we're in a good spot. If you have been sitting on the sidelines, I think I don't blame you per se, but I think that it's time to start, getting out there, exploring some things. I think that we're starting to come up on we may be nearing the top of meme season, maybe, and maybe
you said they're not going away.
They aren't going away, but what I was about to say is I think that the narrative will start kind of playing into things that make more sense now.
Okay.
Yeah. No. But memes they're around. With is a thing now. Pepe is a thing, and so that's all I got to say.
Huda.
I don't know. It's just good to get in and chat with you guys for a few here. I love you fuckers. Love you guys watching. Appreciate all you've been tuning into my other show, by the way. Crossed 1,000 followers. Took almost a year. That was the goal, was a year, actually. It took only 8 months. That's thanks to you guys. So thank you. And thank you guys, like, honestly, Q and Biggie and DP, you guys for hanging and letting me hang here, actually. Honestly, it helps a lot. It means a lot. I have a blast doing it. So thank you guys.
Of course, sir. Appreciate you. Congrats on the 1,000 subs. That's a big milestone, man. So 10,000 is next.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it. Biggie Pop and send us out. Also, OVOT, leave a like to support all of these awesome creators up here on stage. Again, we'll be back at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So appreciate y'all joining in on X, on YouTube. Y'all are goats. Please leave any type of support you can. Thanks.
OVOT fam. See you tomorrow.